Let him.
Well, you're filming. I can't see what's going on.
Oh, okay. Are we recording?
Yeah.
I don't really know. Okay, good.
You probably recognize your signatures on some of these pledges that have been traveling across the state of Louisiana over the past month. My name is Jeff Thompson. I'm one of the 50 state representatives up here today to let you know you can count on the people standing in front of the Capitol to defend your right to protect your family and make sure there's not going to be further attack on the Second Amendment in Louisiana. Unfortunately, we're seeing across the United States an attack on our rights and on our Second Amendment, and we think it's time to take a strong stand. We think it's time to let those that you elect to come down here, this great honor of serving you in this state, the sportsman's paradise, to come together united with one strong voice, to let the people in this state and the states across this nation, and those businesses that feel that they're no longer welcome in their states. Louisiana is a sportsman's paradise. We'd love to have you come down here. I think it's important to start off with, I'd like you to welcome one of the United States Congressmen from Louisiana that is taking a hard stand to protect our Second Amendment rights. And I'm delighted to tell you that Congressman Alexander, Bustani, Fleming, and Scalise have joined with our next speaker in taking a stand for defending Louisiana and our constitutional rights. I'm going to share with you some other individuals that have signed that pledge and stood up. But if you would, one of the first people to take a very strong stand on behalf of Louisiana and taking that fight to Washington for us, if you would, please make welcome Congressman Bill Cassidy.
Hey, thank y'all for being here. You can tell who's not the state official. The state officials are all wearing ties. It's just me and Ernie Wooten who are here dressed like it's a warm day. Now, you know that I have said that I am going to run for the United States Senate. Now, let me just say, I bring that up for no other reason than that to say that either President Obama or Senator Landrieu or someone has sent a tracker. She's a very nice woman. She's there, right there. And I only say that. Be nice, be very nice to her. Because what those who are opposed to our personal freedom will say is that we are bad people. So make it a point that when you go and say hello to her, that you express that all of us, none of us want criminals to have guns. But what we don't want is law-abiding people to have their right to keep and bear arms infringed upon. And knowing that you don't know this, be careful what you say, because I can promise that those who are opposed to our personal freedoms will take something that we say and twist it, showing it on MSNBC or someplace else, to discredit our argument for freedom. So if you have the chance to say hello to Nicole, please do so. She's, as far as I gather, a very nice person. But she is doing a job for the president or for the senator or for somebody, for those who do not care for us to protect our personal freedoms. And this is about personal freedom. As Jeff said, this right predates our Constitution, but it is enshrined in our Constitution. And as we see over the last 4 years how Washington has attempted to infringe upon our rights with the boot of Washington on the neck of economic freedom, on the neck of our freedom of the Second Amendment, if you will, requiring us to buy things we don't particularly care to buy, and then requiring the IRS to come in and look at our books to prove that we have bought that which we don't particularly care to buy. This is about freedom. This is the stance of the American people, that we as Americans disagree with Washington. We actually think that the law-abiding should have the right to keep and bear arms. That we don't think that people in Washington are smarter than us, but rather the genius of the American way has been the American people and not the American government. That said, thank you for being here. I will now cede to all these good people around. Thank Jeff Thompson for putting it together, and thank y'all for caring about the United States of America.
You know, the problems we're facing regarding guns is not a lack of laws. Let's see how making more laws work for us. How's our drugs? It's illegal to grow them. It's illegal to manufacture them. It's illegal to sell them. It's illegal to transport them. It's illegal to buy them. It's illegal to use them. It's illegal to know somebody that does any of the above and not tell them. How's that working for us? How about the laws on immigration? We have three times the population of the state of Louisiana in this nation illegally coming across our borders. How's that working for us? We don't need more gun laws. Law-abiding citizens should not be demonized and criminalized in this process. And I'm proud to report to you, I love the sound of military aircraft. God bless them. I'm pleased to report to you that from the Senator, United States Senator and Congressman I've talked to you about, that Governor Jindal has signed this pledge as well, and I want to welcome to the stage one of the individuals that is standing strong for Louisiana right now. If you would help welcome somebody that is a spokesperson for Louisiana, going across our nation and doing a good job here, Lieutenant Governor Jay Darden.
Thank you, Representative Thompson, and to all the senators and representatives gathered today. I'm going to be very brief. It's warm out here. This discussion begins and ends with the simple words of the United States Constitution, and really there ought not be any debate beyond that. We recognize the freedoms that are granted in the Second Amendment to the Constitution, and that's why I'm here, to make sure that we protect the sanctity of the Constitution. All too often we try and find ways around that pesky document, the United States Constitution, and hopefully that will no longer be the case. And these are the men and women who stand behind me who represent the people of Louisiana, who have enacted some very important and visionary laws for our state related to this issue, and they'll continue to consider several during this session, and I know they're going to stand up and do the right thing. I will say to you that as the sportsman's paradise, Louisiana obviously cherishes its long history of allowing people the freedom to hunt and to enjoy all the abundance that God has given this great state. And I've made an effort as well to reach out to some of the states who tended to want to be a little bit more restrictive on what they do, to tell those companies that if they're interested in relocating to Louisiana, we are absolutely open for business and welcoming their presence here in the state of Louisiana. I hope at some point some people will take us up on that notion, and many of you have been involved in that. But I thank all of you for being here today. Hunting is certainly one of the great passions that Louisianians enjoy, and the effort that these men and women are making is very important for the future of America, and I congratulate and thank them. And Representative Thompson, thank you for your leadership role.
Thank you. You know, our state is one that relies heavily on a lot of different areas in our economy, and none are more important than that probably than agriculture and forestry. And when it comes to elected officials and standing up for what's right, I'm pleased to let you know that our Commissioner of Agriculture and Forestry, Dr. Mike Strain, is with us in this fight. And I'm going to let him come up and share with you his beliefs on this issue. Because I think it's important that everybody we elect, from school board to our United States senators and president, we hold them accountable. And that process starts today. So if you would welcome Commissioner Dr. Mike Strain.
Thank you, Jeff. If you look at the pantheon of our founding fathers, they talk about our inalienable rights. That's a life and liberty and a pursuit of happiness. Think about why we have a Second Amendment. It was placed there as a countermeasure to the growth and strength of government. Jefferson said, and I quote, that the beauty of the Second Amendment will be that it will not ever be needed until we go to take it away. And it is, as a last resort, a protection against the tyranny in government. And to whom do we better entrust our arms? To the federal government? No. To the state government? No. Or to the people? Yeah. Generations of Americans before us have fought and sacrificed and given all that they possess, including their lives, that we will always be free. What separates us from the other nations on this earth is that we have always been free. We have fought many wars on this continent and others, and we stand strong. What we are here today about is the future of the freedoms of our generation and their generation and the next generation. It is now incumbent upon us to stand up and to speak and to continue to stand and to speak as others before us have done. I'm very proud to stand here with the men and women that are here today and with you. And we must forever protect our rights to keep and to bear arms. It is far more than about crime. It is far more than just about home protection. It is about the very foundation of the liberties of this nation. Thank you. God bless you.
When it comes to leadership on an issue, the members of the House often look to the Speaker of the House, one of the very first members also representing the southwest portion of this state. And if you would, please welcome up Speaker of the House of Representatives, Representative Charles Blackley.
Thank you very much, Jeff, and thank you for your hard work and your leadership on such an important issue for the state of Louisiana. I'll ask you to look around me. Look at the folks that are surrounding me. Look at the statement that we're sending not only across the state of Louisiana, but across this nation about you can do a lot of things in this country, but don't try to step on our Second Amendment rights. They are very, very important for us. They're very, very important for the citizens of Louisiana. I'm honored to stand here and represent the House of Representatives and to stand for our Second Amendment rights. I also want to welcome former state representative and sheriff Ernest Wooten over here on to my right and to your left to have him stand with us here. So, welcome, Sheriff. This is such an important issue. This is such a critical issue for our state. But I can tell you, I'm very proud to stand with Jeff. I'm very proud to stand with my other House members to help defend our Second Amendment rights and make sure that they are not trampled on. And I'll leave you with this note. Governor Rick Perry of the state of Texas said this, and I've repeated this many, many times. In Louisiana, we call stronger gun control using two hands. Thank y'all very much.
References law enforcement. I'm pleased to say that we have a lot of people from across the state in different capacities in law enforcement. And I think we'd be remiss without recognizing somebody else. If you would recognize with me someone that's taking the time to be down here and show their support, that's doing a great job back home with law enforcement. That's Bossier Sheriff Julian Whittington is here with us today. This is not just something that's taking place in the House. We have friends in the Senate as well that are just as committed to this issue. And one of the individuals that was really a leader in the constitutional change to raise to strict scrutiny the infringement of Second Amendment rights from Columbia, if you would, please welcome Senator Neil Reiser.
Thank you, Jeff. Last year, Louisiana passed the strongest constitutional protection of the Second Amendment of any state in the Union. Myself and Representative Chris Broadwater handled that bill. Every member that you see here is standing that was in the Capitol last year supported that legislation. The most common question that me and Chris got in probably almost 18 hours of debate was, why do we need this? That was probably the most common we had. Soon after that, we saw why we did need it. Congressman Cassidy can tell you that there's those that do not believe in our constitutional rights. We both testified to the fact that we will be there to protect your constitutional right. Those that oppose us, we'll be there to protect their freedom of speech, the freedom of the press. We will be there for all constitutional rights. Thank you for being here today and representing and supporting our constitutional rights. Thank you.
You know, it's one thing to kind of let rumors get out about how you feel about the Second Amendment. Our next speaker, Senator Guillory, I'm going to encourage you to go to YouTube and find the video that he's released that deals with the history of the very shotgun that was used by his family to put food on the table and protect their family. And if you would, please welcome Senator Guillory to come up and speak to us. Senator.
Liberty under siege, rights under attack. Today, we must stand against those who would destroy our American way of life. This day, we must stand firm and together. Thank you, Americans.